There we go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Saturday morning new distributor training. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with Zija International. As you can see, I'm wearing my Zija Love t-shirt. And my privilege to be your guest trainer for today. We're just kind of getting warmed up here. I'm going to check a couple of messages. Good morning, Mary. Is that Kaylee? I don't know if I'm saying that correct, from Lake Shasta. Welcome. Oh, wait a minute. Kale S. Shasta Life Unlimited. That's Kevin Steele, but he still hasn't been able to correct the spelling of his name. That's pretty funny, Kevin. We'll get warmed up here and going here in just a moment, folks, but a couple of things I want to do. First of all, I want to welcome all of you to this edition of Saturday morning new distributor training. I see that as the room is filling up here, we've got a few of our field leaders, a number of new distributors. Always like to comment because, it's not unusual. We'll have a guest or two show up, somebody maybe that is still, looking at the Zija products or opportunity. You're certainly welcome to participate in this. A lot of times people like to know, will I have support? Will I have, training? Will I learn what to do? And that's, that's really part of our profession is being able to show people the path to creating whatever it is they desire to create. Hey, Carmen, good to see you. Whatever they desire to create in their life. Now, this morning, Saturday morning new distributor training, I often talk about the title, new distributor training, is kind of a bit of a misnomer. This is an ongoing process. Every Saturday morning we do this. However, there is a specific new distributor training or fast start training. And what I've done is I've created a few videos that actually are available at any particular time you want. I want to encourage you to plug into some of the resources that myself and others have been providing on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. It's www.youtube.com/Fred Holmes Zija. So that's it, youtube.com/Fred Holmes Zija. And that's where I'm posting, all of our trainings, presentations, team meetings, and that sort of thing. It's all available there. Now, on that YouTube channel, there is a section called playlists. At this point in time, there's only one playlist, and that playlist is entitled New Distributor Training. And I encourage you, especially if you're just getting started with us, or maybe you've been part of Zija for some time. Maybe you've been using the products, maybe you got a couple of customers, but you're starting to hear what's happening in the Zija world right now, leading up to our October convention. I mean, we're literally about 4 months away from what will be the most important event in the history of Zija International to date, the launch of Zija 2.0. And we've talked quite a bit about that. I may talk a little bit about that more during our question and answer session today. But the playlist, this is what I would suggest as a brand new person. Even if you've been involved in network marketing in the past, if you've not achieved the results, the financial results that you desire, I encourage you to go to the new distributor training playlist on the YouTube channel. You will find 4 videos there. The first one is called Saturday Morning New Distributor Training. And what that really is, it's a synopsis of what I experienced 30 plus years ago when I attended my very first new distributor training on a Saturday morning. One of the great advantages that I've had in this industry is my very first company has provided some of the finest training in the multi-level or network marketing profession that's ever existed. It's been a great privilege to be able to be part of that process, to be able to learn from the true masters of our profession. And make no mistake about it, it is a profession. So many people look at what we do as going, oh yeah, I know that deal. You know, you know, buy products at wholesale, sell them to your friends at retail. You make some money. Some of your friends will sign up. They'll do that. Yeah, I know that, folks. It's just like brain surgery. Yeah, I know that. You put people under anesthesia, you open up their brain, you cut out stuff. Yeah, I know that. I got that. Nobody talks about brain surgery like that, but for some reason, they think that our profession, they already understand and know, even though top income earners in network marketing make way more than brain surgeons. I mean, way more than brain surgeons. And so I encourage you to start with this foundation. Get this new distributor training that's in the playlist. That first video is, 30 minutes long, and it is exactly, almost exactly what I learned 33 years ago. Slight tweaks for Zija, but it is what we do and how we do it. And if you want to understand how to create success in this business, you should write this in your notes. Duplication is the key to success. That's the key. And that training is designed, first of all, to be simple enough to be taught to the average person. Simple enough the average person can learn it. And more importantly, the average person can teach others. And so everything that I've ever done in over 30 years is based upon that 30-minute video you'll find in the playlist. Now, there are 3 additional little videos, average about 10 minutes apiece, and it's what we call the fast start training. And it's really important to understand, in our type of business, it is easier to get off to a fast start than it is a slow start. It doesn't seem like that makes sense, but it is actually easier to get off to a fast start than a slow start. And so those 3 little videos, how to create the initial prospect list, how to develop your story, 90-day game plan. These are the kinds of things that I was taught in my very first company, allowed me to be able to create a full-time income, in that very first company, and allowed me 2 years later to make a transition into a second company that had momentum and retire 8 years later. And then turn around and come out of retirement for Zija several years ago, at a time when Zija was literally a zero company, nothing. I mean, the company's annual sales volume for the first 2 years was less than what my personal organization does in a month today. I mean, it was a tiny, dinky little company. Yet, we had one product. That's it. We had an antiquated compensation plan. And yet, within 36 months, working part-time from home, because I knew the things that I share in those little videos that I'm talking about, I was able to create a residual income that put me in the top 1% of earners in the entire country. Now, I'm not bragging. What I'm trying to do is to give you that incentive to make you want to go and listen to those little videos. Now, if you do that, you're going to have a tremendous foundation for what we do on an ongoing basis here on Saturday morning. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take a few minutes. I'm going to cover a topic this morning that is foundational to the success of every top earner in our profession, not just within Zija International, every single top earner in the profession of network marketing. If you talk to them about DMO, David, Mike, Oscar, DMO. If you talk to them about that, they'll go, yeah, that's it. That is the foundation of success. If you get your DMO down, it's inevitable that you're going to achieve results. And so first question is, what's DMO? DMO is daily method of operation. And it's today's topic. And so you kind of understand, we'll do a little topic each Saturday, something designed for new distributors, so that you start to learn the things that the $1 million earners have learned over the years. And what I like to do is kind of get through that so that we can open up and do questions and answers. So I encourage you, grab your journal, have your journal, start taking some notes. When you have a question, something pops in your mind, write it down. Don't wait, because it'll pop right out of your mind. I'm going to share a little bit of information, then I'll just kind of open it up. We'll do a question and answer, okay? So talking about, before I get too far in here, let me just say good morning, good morning. Foundational success, of course, very good. And good morning, Lauren, to you as well. All right, and Traveler, I see Candace there. Hi, Candace. How are you? Looking forward to seeing you in California here in a few weeks. Now, let's talk about daily method of operation. And I'm going to wrap this around something that I heard Jim Rohn speak on many, many years ago. For those of you that aren't familiar, Jim Rohn, that's R-O-H-N, you need to check him out. He's passed now, but you know, his legacy lives on. Jim Rohn is considered by all of the top personal development trainers to be their mentor. Okay, Jim is the guy. And he talked about this in a little presentation he did. He called it Celebrate or Fix. The key to success in anything can be boiled down to consistency of effort over a prolonged period of time. What's important, of course, is that consistency effort, the effort is applied to correct activities. Okay, if you want to be a championship swimmer, okay, but your consistent daily method of operation is not practicing swimming, it's practicing jogging, you're not going to be a championship swimmer. You might be a championship runner, okay? Kind of a simplistic example. But the key to success in anything, okay, is consistency of activity over a prolonged period of time. How do you become a great golfer? Hit a lot of golf balls, but do it consistently for a prolonged period of time. How do you become, successful in your college career? Consistently show up for class and do it long enough. Okay, that's how you become, successful at anything. I mean, that was unfortunately one of my big challenges. I never quite understood why they wanted me to show up in school. Really, every day? Like I show up for class every day? We had what we called FAC, Friday Afternoon Club. Always seemed to interfere with stuff on Friday, but I digress. Now, what Jim Rohn called Celebrate or Fix is an incredibly powerful way to implement a daily method of operation. And we're going to be specific to our profession in network marketing. It starts out the night before the day you plan. Okay, this is what I encourage you to do. This is what Jim Rohn said. Before you go to bed, to start establishing a daily habit, before you go to bed, sit down, take a few minutes, be methodical about this, grab a pen and paper, and first of all, start out by writing down 5 or 6 things that would make a material difference in your business. Now let's talk about correct activities. All right, if you refer to the new distributor training that I mentioned here a few moments ago, this is what we do. We share our product, we share our opportunity, and we teach others to do the same. That's it. That's what we do. And so your, the activities of the following day, of tomorrow, should be surrounding those primary activities, the things that we do that make a difference. Things like, designing your business card, making a post on your Facebook, page, whatever. Those may indirectly affect the primary ingredients, share the product, share the opportunity, teach others to do the same, but they are not directly doing those things, okay? It doesn't make any difference what you did leading up to it. What makes a difference is, did you share the product with somebody? Did you share our opportunity? And did you teach somebody else how to do the same thing? So those 5 or 6 things, commit ink to paper, write down 5 or 6 things, specific activities that would make a material positive impact on your business. So, for instance, you might write down, I am going to call Mary Lou and talk to her about the product. I'm going to call Bob and talk to him about the product. And I'm going to call, Sarah and talk with her about the opportunity. Well, there's three things right there. Two contacts with potential customers, one contact with a potential distributor. Now, you may also need to do a few other things, add in there. For instance, you're going to put in follow-up on, Billy Bob or Martha from yesterday, because yesterday you invited Martha to look at the opportunity and scheduled your follow-up for today. Put that down there. And you might put in there one more thing, get together with Jim and make sure that he's gone through the new distributor training. Okay, part of my philosophy in this business is keep it simple. Simplicity is duplicatable. What do? Here's three things. With your brand new distributor, get them in, get them trained, get them going. Pretty simple, okay? No magic there. And so that might be, schedule time to get together with Jim, make sure he's gone through the new distributor training, the 3 little videos on how to get off to a fast start, and then start talking with people with them. Now, so long as those 5 or 6 things are involve the primary things that we do, share the product, share the opportunity, teach others to do the same. If that's what your activities are, and you write down 5 or 6 specific activities, actions, then you're on the right track. Now, I want you to include one more thing, and this is critical. One of those 5 or 6 things that you're going to schedule for tomorrow should be personal development. And this is something that's incredibly important to understand. Many years ago, my original sponsor, my very first sponsor in my very first networking company, he had this conversation with me, and he said, Fred, how much do you think you're worth? Well, my goal at the time was to create a 6-figure annual income. As I understood it at that point in my life, $100,000 a year, that was rich, okay, as I understood, success. And I said, 100,000 a year. He said, no, that's your goal. What I asked you is what you're worth. I said 100,000 a year. He says, that is incorrect. If you were worth 100,000 a year, you'd be making 100,000 a year. What he helped me understand is that as a cross-country truck driver, I was worth at that time 30 to 35,000 a year. Now, it may not sound like a lot of money, but in 1985, and for a guy like me, that was a lot of money. But I wanted much more to meet the needs of, my son as he was entering school age. And what he was doing, he was trying to drive home a point. You will only earn what you're worth. If you are not earning what you're worth at this moment, then it has everything to do with either your activities, your personal development, or time. Okay? Once you have your activities and your personal development in place and correct, then it is simply a matter of time. The income will catch up with you. Here's the other side of that coin. If you happen to, for whatever reasons, hit a high level of income, but your daily method of operation or your personal development are not equal to that level of income, then your income will come back down to where you are. Okay, it's the reason why. Many of you know this. It's almost it's common knowledge almost. People who win the lotto, typically within a matter of just a few short years, are back in the same financial situation that they were before they won millions in the lottery. Why is that? Because their personal development has not grown to a level to where they are worth that amount of money. So personal development should be one of those 5 or 6 things that you commit in writing. And that can be as simple as, taking 30 minutes, reading the next chapter in Think and Grow Rich, reading the next chapter in any book that successful people commonly read. I call in our type of business, I specifically talk about personal development and skill sets development. That those two things kind of go hand in hand, in my opinion. So once you have written down 5 or 6 things, I'm going to listen to the second half of Jim Rohn's How to Build a Network Marketing Distributorship presentation. It was an hour-long presentation. I encourage you, if you haven't heard it, you need to go to YouTube and listen to it. It's an hour-long presentation. Maybe that's one of the to-do items. Okay, I'm going to talk to Mary Lou. I'm going to talk to Bob about the product. I'm going to talk to Sally and Henry about the opportunity. I'm going to follow up on, Sam, whatever. So now you've got 5 or 6 activities. Notice how we haven't scheduled, a 20-hour day for you. A few simple activities, exercise consistently over a prolonged period of time, a daily method of operation is going to give you incredible results beyond your wildest imagination. Once you have those activities written down, step 2 is to calendar them. Put them on your calendar. Schedule them. So for instance, it's not enough to say I'm going to call Bob and I'm going to call Mary Lou about the product. Then take and put that on your calendar. I'm going to call Bob at 7:30 in the morning because I know he'll be driving to work just like me. And I'll call him from the call. I'm going to call Mary Lou at noon because I know she'll be free and I'll be free. Actually, calendar, schedule the activity. And most of the time, the things that you're going to be calendaring are going to be 10-minute or 15 minutes here and there. Okay, that's what it is. One of the things that you might, let's see, today is Saturday. Maybe last night you would have said, I'm going to attend Saturday morning new distributor training. On Sunday night, you might be putting down one of the activities, and you can include this in personal development, what have you. David Moses' Facebook Live presentation, the Millionaires in Training program. Maybe one of the things that you'll be scheduling the night before will be inviting a guest to join you for Pat Anderson's, Health Talks with Pat presentation on Wednesday, or bring somebody with you to the presentation, Biz Talks presentation that I typically do on Thursday, myself or one of the other leaders. These are the things, the correct activities, but you need to calendar them. Now, we do this, and this doesn't have to take a long time. Take 10 minutes, take 15 minutes before you go to bed. Once you've got the activities written down and then actually scheduled, whether it's in your, day timer, on your, calendar, on your computer, whatever, once it's done, then you go to sleep, okay? And there's a reason why we always do it the night before. 2 reasons. Number 1, when you wake up in the morning, you don't have to put your day together. It's already been done. You already set it up. You already got the calendar set up. Biggest reason is when you go to sleep, and you've done this process before going to sleep, your subconscious mind gets to process this all night long. Okay, and you can literally train your subconscious mind to create success experiences. Successfully talking to Mary Lou and knowing that she will be excited to hear about this product and want to try it. It's important that you leverage all of the things that the mind can do for you. Now, when you wake up in the morning, you execute your plan and you go throughout your day and you do your deal, and then you get to the end of the day, and that next day you have one more thing to do. Okay, before you sit down and plan out the following day by putting 5 or 6 things down on paper, share the product, share the opportunity, teach others to do the same, personal development. Before you go through that process, you need to evaluate your day. This is what the process Jim Rohn called celebrate or fix. You need to take those 5 or 6 things that you wrote down. That's why you write it down. And you calendared it, and you need to go back and you need to evaluate your performance. This is something that is incredibly challenging for most people because most people have never done this. Okay, this is something that is alien to most, but very familiar to people that own businesses, people that are self-employed. See, if you're self-employed, you're the person that's required to schedule your time, determine what your activities are, to evaluate your performance, to make corrections if necessary, and to continue to improve. 95% of the world works for 5% of the world. What that means is only 5% of the world already does these kinds of things. The other 95% of the world, they work for somebody else. And it's the boss, the employer, the owner, whatever. They're the ones that tell you when to show up for work, what to do, when to take your break, when to go home, and the evaluation, your performance evaluation, once every 6 months, once every year, something like that, you might have an employee evaluation. And I get this. I mean, for much of my life before network marketing, I worked for a living. Contrary to popular belief, I used to have a job. I used to work for the county. And I didn't do good there. I should have always been self-employed. I was really never very good at, doing things that didn't make sense to me. And I'm not criticizing the county. It just, we weren't a good fit. But the point I'm making is that this is not something that is characteristically taught to people. Look at our educational system today. What do? We teach children when to show up, what to do, where to sit, where to take their lunch break, when to go home, what to do, and then the education system is designed to create good employees, not entrepreneurs. And make no mistake about it, your Zija business is no different than any other business. Okay, my little home-based business, did $10 million in wholesale volume last year. Okay, that's a pretty good sized business. Make no mistake about it, it's a real business like any other business. Now, celebrate or fix, evaluate your numbers. Here's what's going to happen. As you sit down and look at the 5 or 6 activities that you had set up that were going to make a material difference in your business, what you will end up having is one of two things. Either you accomplished the 5 or 6 things that you wrote down to do, or you didn't. It's just real simple. Either you did it or you didn't. Now, if you did accomplish those 5 or 6 things, then you must celebrate. And this is really important to understand. Your celebration is a recognition of a success experience. It should be meaningful to you. There should be activity involved. And I'm not the guy that does the training on, neuro-linguistic programming and all that kind of stuff. I'm not that guy. Go find somebody else to do that. Here's what I don't know. I don't train on it, but what I do understand is that it works. And if it works, it works. And so something that is tangible, meaningful to you as a form of celebration, and it should involve activity. Okay, so here's an example. You love ice cream. Eating ice cream is activity. If you accomplished your 5 or 6 things, then celebrate, have a bowl of ice cream. Now, I'm using that as an illustration. I'm not suggesting you have a bowl of ice cream every single week or every single day. That may not be the best thing for you, but it's an example. Me, I love dancing on the beach. Okay, well, can't get to the beach every night, but this is what I used to do. When I do this process, this is what I do. If I accomplish my 5 or 6 things, then I jump up out of my chair and I do the dance. Oh yeah, I did it. Oh yeah, I did it. 10 seconds. Okay, it meets the criteria for celebration. It is something meaningful and tangible to me, involves activity. So try to find something that incorporates those specific things, meaningful, tangible activity. It's all about body training. And again, I'm not the guy that does the training on that. I'm just telling you what works. So if you accomplish those 5 or 6 things, celebrate. However, if you did not accomplish those 5 things, you must fix it. You will not achieve higher levels of success if you commit the same mistakes over and over and over again. Now, the fixing part is easy. It's simple. You may even want to write this down in your notes. If you did not accomplish those 5 or 6 things that you wrote down for the day, calendared and scheduled, it'll come down to one of 2 reasons. And that's it. It'll always be one of 2 reasons. So the fix is simple. It's easy to do. One reason you didn't accomplish it may be because you overestimated your capacity to accomplish within the time frame you allowed. Okay? You overestimated your capacity within the time frame. Example, I'm going to call 47 people during my lunch break to tell them about the opportunity. Well, 47 people, you got a 30-minute lunch break. That means you're going to have to contact and speak with, I think, 43 seconds each. Well, chances are in 30 minutes, you're not going to be able to make 47 contacts, and that's why you didn't do it. Okay? I'm going to read all of Think and Grow Rich in the 30 minutes that I have set aside for personal development in the morning before I start, showering, shaving, getting ready for work. If you didn't accomplish it, the fix is simple in this one. You overestimated your capacity to accomplish within the time frame that you allotted. Here's the second reason. It's the only other reason that you got to fix. Okay, you did not follow your schedule. And I'll give you an example. You had scheduled during your lunch break to make one call to somebody to share the product and to follow up on one of your customers who's maybe their 3rd day of using the product, and you're following the day 1, day 3, day 7, day 14, day 21 follow-up process. Okay, and we've talked about that in a previous meeting. Now, here's what happened. You had 2 calls to make during your lunch break. One to present the product, the other one to follow up on a customer. And just as your lunch break started, the gals from the other office came over and said, "Oh, we haven't seen you in a long time. Let's go out to lunch. Come on, we never get a chance to hang out together anymore. Come on, do lunch with us, do lunch." And you chose to not do what you had calendared and do something else. Now, that's an easy one to fix. Follow what you scheduled. Okay, now I'll give you a different example. Let's say you have a job where you have to show up for work at 8 in the morning and you got to work till 5 o'clock. And as you're ready to go to work, one of your dear friends that you haven't seen, shows up at the door. "Hey, came to hang out with you for the day." You got a choice to make. Okay, are you going to go to work and earn a living, or are you going to hang out with your friend? And let's assume you don't have sick leave, or you're not that kind of person that's going to call in sick when you don't have vacation. It's real simple. Either you go to work and make a living, or you hang out with your friend. It's just a choice. All right, here's the problem. When you make the choice to not work today, it'll be easier to make the choice not to work tomorrow. People that own businesses, that I ran a business a number of years ago. It cost $1,000 a day to turn the key on the door to walk into the building. Had to generate $1,000 a day in revenue simply to keep the business in the black. You don't open the office for the day, you took $1,000 out of your pocket. Now in the real world, that's easy to see, okay, because it happens immediately. In our type of business, it's very insidious. You can take one day off and you'll never notice the difference today, but you will notice it over a prolonged period of time. You can do your daily method of operation today, and you may not notice a significant difference today, but you will notice significant difference over a prolonged period of time. So Celebrate or fix. At the end of the day, evaluate your performance. Be willing to look yourself in the face, be accountable, hold yourself accountable and responsible for what you committed to doing. If you completed your activities, celebrate, do the dance or whatever is meaningful, tangible, and has activity involved in it for you. If you didn't, then identify why you didn't and fix that. And then finally, do exactly what you did the night before. Sit down, identify 5 or 6 more activities. You know, I'm going to call Bob and Mary. I'm going to follow up on Jim and Sally. I'm going to attend a presentation. I'm going to, listen to the second half of Jim Rohn's How to Build Your Network Marketing Distributorship. Include personal development every single day in your daily method of operation. Write those activities down, then calendar them, go to sleep, allow your subconscious to set that up for the day. Get up in the morning, you already know what you're going to do, follow your daily method of operation. At the end of the day, evaluate your performance, celebrate or fix, write down the 5 or 6 things for tomorrow, calendar them, go to sleep, do it again. Now, let me share this with you folks. What we've just gone through, DMO, what we've just gone through is pretty simple. None of it's brain surgery. Anybody could, of average intelligence can see this, understand it, and do it. Why don't people do it? Ain't got a clue. Okay? If you knew what a relatively short period of time of doing something like this could accomplish in your life, to me, why wouldn't you do it? And I'm just going to share, one more time my experience in ZJ. And for those of you that are not familiar with my story, I've built this business part-time from home. I actually had been retired for quite some time. It was necessary to move home, care for my elderly mother. She's now will be 92 here in 9 days. When I started, it was always part-time around her schedule. I was very, very focused on creating initially my fast start story and then building a foundation of my organization within ZJ because I was crystal clear on what ZJ would become. And I focused on a 90-day game plan. I talk a little bit about that in that new distributor training. You may want to check that out. I did a 90-day game plan when I started at the beginning of 2008. And I did, as soon as that 90 days was done, I did it again. And once that 90 days was done, I did it again. And when that last 90 days, that third 90 days was done, I did it one more time. I did 4 90-day game plans back to back in my first year. Now, what did that accomplish? A modest full-time income. Okay, it was truck driver income. Okay, but I did that working part-time from home. Most people would be thrilled to be able to make, $500 a week, $1,000 a week from a part-time home-based business. I accomplished that. Didn't happen the first month, didn't happen the second, third, fifth, sixth month. As a matter of fact, half of the first year's income didn't happen until the last 90 days of the year, but it was there because of a daily method of operation consistently over a prolonged period of time. In year 2, I just did the same thing I did in year 1. I didn't take my foot off the throttle. I did 4 more 90-day game plans back to back, and by the end of the second year, that second year put me into 6-figure income for the second year. And for most people, being able to earn, what you got to be in the top, 5% of the population to make over 100,000 a year, top 6%. Most people would love that. Okay, I didn't take my foot off the throttle. I continued for 1 more year, 4 more 90-day game plans back to back, and at the end of that year, that third year, my 1099 for the year put me in the top 1% of income earners in the country. That third year was more than double the first 2 years combined. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 90-day game plans back to back. Now, a lot of people say, well, that was 3 years. Yeah, that was 3 years. To put into place an income that most people would take 10 years to earn. But what was more important is that income doubled within the next 24 months without me having to put in that same amount of effort. Once I put it into place, it almost started to take on a life of its own. So daily method of operation is the key to the week, the month, the 90-day game plan, the 12 months. And all I can share with you folks, the reason why people like myself, and I'm looking here, I see Reid Nelson, who just hit triple diamond last night. I mean, this is an incredible accomplishment. Look at some of the field leaders here. They understand this. Why wouldn't you do everything that you could possibly accomplish? Why end your life, come to the end of your life, wondering what you could have done that you didn't do? So hopefully that was helpful. Let's see, we got some questions here. Hey, Reid, I'm put you on the spot, man. I'm so excited to see you on. Drop me a quick note, Reid, if you're available to come on camera. I'll have you join me, and we'll give you a little acknowledgement. And I always like to have somebody else do questions and answers with me. But folks, if you have a question, let's take the time that we have left for this broadcast. And yeah, congratulations to you. Oh, very good, Reid. Let me pull you over here, buddy. I know he was working really late. And let's see, allow to talk more, promote to panelists. There we go. Hey, buddy. Let me unmute you real quick. All right. Hey, Reid, everybody's congratulating you all over Facebook and everything. You the man, dude. Triple diamond here. You and Yvonne, I know you guys have been just really, really working hard. You've had a lot of team members. I mean, your rank advancement is directly related to all of the bronzes and golds and silvers and emeralds. I think you even got a new diamond, right?
Yeah, they're 1 week from diamond. They just finished their second week, and this cycle will complete the third. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, on the one hand, it should be expected that you would do this because of the success that you and Yvonne have had in the past. You know what to do, but it's certainly nothing less than spectacular what you've been able to do in such a short period of time. I'm incredibly excited about what's happened with you guys, and you look like you were working late last night, buddy. I know, huh?
I need some 2-minute miracle really bad here.
I hear it, but hey, thanks for joining me here. I always like to have somebody besides me joining me for question and answer. And folks, there's a little chat box there if you have a question you'd like to pose. But Reid, I'd like to, while we're waiting for people to ask their questions, I'd like to talk to you about something because you said something to me personally here, and I appreciate the email that you sent, the letter that you sent. You said something that should be very, very meaningful to the people that are with us this morning on the training. It was almost kind of like a side comment that you were working hard, but it was because you knew from previous experience about what was going to happen. You were committing to, I think it was a 24 or 36-month game plan at this stage of the game, leading up to Zija 2.0 and then continuing in 2019, 2020. But the comment you made was because you've been here before. Talk to me a little bit about what it is that you and Yvonne are seeing. It's almost kind of like deja vu all over again.
Yeah, it's really quite important, as we were talking to Mac and Pat late last night and some other folks, it was like, in the old, and I won't belabor this point, but in the old company, you had to do something to get to that top rank we were at in a month's period. Okay, you had to do this or that in a month. Well, this is a totally different animal. 4 weeks in a row is wow, it's crazy, you know. And so you know, what I was referring to, obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but you know, we got involved in that other situation when they were doing about $100 million a year, something like that. And we saw that, we were part of that, taking that to, you know, 100 million, 200 million, 300 million, 500 million, 600 million, etc. So we know what it's like. It's fun. It's exhausting. It's not easy, but it's totally worth it. You know, because when you get to the end, and it never ends, of course, but when you get to the quote goal, you're sitting there and you're going, that was it. That's, you know, it's exhausting at the time. Then you sit back and take a day off and go, wow, people would only understand if they just did this for this time. It's just done. Then you can go. You can, that's off, and you can just move on, you know? Because, you know, in the workaday world, you're working, you know, you've done it. I've done it a little tiny bit in my way back times. But it's one of those things where, you know, people work 35, 40 years. And it's an old saying, but, you know, to retire in a third to a half what they already can't live on, you know? And so here, you can build it, you can go, you could just run your guts out. You just talked about it, you know, doing your 90-day blast over and over and over again, right? And at the end of that, you go, that's the only price I really had to pay? I mean, you think about it, but most people won't do it. Won't do it. And so, and until you've done that, and that's why I made the statement last night, until somebody's done that, they don't know. They don't understand the price you have, because there's always a price. Always a price. Always a price to pay. And when you get to that point, you go, wow, that wasn't a very big price. You know, I have an old friend who used to say, and you've heard it too, it's an old network marketing thought. It's just a matter of, you know, you do what most people won't do for the next 2 to 5 years. You can live the way most people can't for the rest of your life.
That's it.
And so, yeah, we always work. We're you know, my wife told me to not use the word workaholic. It's kind of a negative thought, you know. So we changed it to lifeaholic.
Oh, there you go.
I
like that.
You know, I'm a lifeaholic. You know, I enjoy this. Isn't work. This is fun. You know, as we dropped dead into our beds last night. This is fun. You know, but it is fun. It's fun. It's fun to help people. You know, and this is such a team effort. There's no way in heck this could happen for anyone without a team. And you know, we've got such great teams, and it's amazing. And so, you know, thank you all. It was great, fun ride. But now we got to bring them. That's the way it works.
You know, and folks, one of the things that happens after you've had that privilege of being able to get some tenure in the industry, to experience the things that Reid is talking about, you start being able to pick up on things that most people don't pick up on. And Reid said a couple of things that are incredibly important that you may have missed. Okay, one of the things he said is they were with a company. Previous company, and you were with them, what, 25 years, something like that?
Yeah, 25 years.
Yeah. They were with a company. They started with that company when the company was about $100 million a year. Now, $100 million a year, that sounds like a lot of volume. For a network marketing company, that's nothing. I mean, that's, you know, that's barely a recognizable dot on the radar. That company grew to over $1 billion in annual sales. Am I correct?
Yep.
Imagine what happened to Yvonne and Reid by building an organization when the company was only $100 million a year, and then having that piece of the company as the company grew to over $1 billion a year, 25 years of receiving income off of that. That'll give you a little idea of the financial status of Reid and Yvonne. Be very clear on this. They don't do this deal because they need the money. All right? That's what people that have jobs do. They go to work because they need the money. Now, Zege International, we're about $100 million a year.
Exactly.
Okay? And today's infrastructure, today as we speak, ZJ International could produce over $1 billion in annual sales of our product. All we need is the people. See, some of you missed why Reid and Yvonne are here, because they have the ability to deja vu all over again, to do this one more time, but with a team of people they're bringing with them. And then the other thing that that you said that I really kind of want to emphasize, because while I'm certainly not in your caliber, I'm like, you know, way minor league compared to Reid and Yvonne. You know, I'm little league, and they're playing in the, you know, in the all-star game, right? But I get it. Okay, I worked real hard in my previous company for the first 3 years, and then was able to retire a few years after that. Put 10 years into this industry, and then I got to take a number of years off, and I didn't have to work. With Zija, I put in 3 years to create an organization that's, you know, still top 10 organization in the company. While I didn't notice it during that time, and that's the thing, when you're working and you're talking with somebody on the phone, I know you've got a lot of people in Europe you've been working with, doing Zoom meetings and that sort of thing, and one of your team members, you know, just hit bronze, and they're so excited, you know, and somebody's lost 12 pounds in their second week, and, you know, it's fun, it's exciting. You don't even notice it. And then you end the day and you collapse, but then you think, you know, put that together over a short period of time, and then you get these incredible results. It's like, really? That was all I did? Might be exhausting at the moment. You know, you might be going, I only got one more Zoom and then I can go to sleep. But then, you know, just a short period of time, and time goes by so fast. It's, you know, that's all we had to do to have everything we've got. I'm incredibly proud of what you guys have done. I'm honored to say that I'm part of your team.
Well, I know you are definitely part of the team, and you do so much. And you know, you and David, and, you know, obviously Pat's amazing, and, you know, she worked tirelessly in this organization all over the place. And, you know, there's so many names to mention. I don't even start, because I'll leave somebody out and somebody.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
But they know who they are. There's people in this thing who just put their butts in the line these last month, and it's amazing. It truly is amazing, and we appreciate everybody, because, like I said, you can't do this by yourself. There's no way.
And you know what's really interesting is that the people that seem to give the most really are the ones that have the least to gain from this. You know, and here I'm talking, you know, Pat Anderson, you know, she's already top 10 income earner. What was her greatest thrill? I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody likes money, was seeing you guys achieve your goals. And why? Because you got excited about seeing your team achieve goals. And this, you know, this is actually something a lot of people don't get, and that's because 95% of the world has to work for a living.
Correct.
You know, I've talked about this in the past. You know, you get involved for, you know, to make some money, to create a certain level of financial security, and then maybe you can go to financial independence. But it's not until you, you know, evolve to that level of financial abundance when you start to realize that the real value isn't in the money that we're making, right? You know, you can only drive one car at a time, you can only wear one watch at a time. It's seeing others be able to do that. And when I first heard that concept, I'm going, yeah, sure, right, yeah. Your greatest value is seeing other people make money. I buy that, right? Yeah. And I'm gonna, you know, you got property in Florida to sell me. People don't get that, but that's. I'm just telling you right now, folks. Reid and Yvonne do not need to do this deal, and you can tell. But no offense, Reid. Looks like you had a long night. Okay.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
You know, right? You know.
Then you're tired. Okay, go to sleep. Then you don't. Now you're all pumped up. You can't do anything. That's great.
We got a minute or two left here. I'm going to give you this one question from Michael. How did Reid work with the team to achieve his weekly goal these past 3 weeks?
Well, you know, it's you find out who wants to play. You go down into the group, and you've got certain individuals that are going to do it, certain people that aren't. And in this case, you know exactly what the players are. You find out what their goals are. You help them achieve them. It's really not very difficult. And in our case, you have to have your Builder 500s in place, which I think a lot of people totally don't think about. And one of the things I've learned, especially learned the hard way on this one, is to listen to upline on that one and do what you're told to do. Hey, we've made mistakes, and I think we're not perfect. We've been around a long time, but we've never done this before. Not like this, And so when they tell you, as you're sponsoring people, outside, don't deviate from that. outside right, outside left, outside right, outside left. That's the program. Don't deviate from that. And so, like in this week, one of the things we've done is we've sponsored. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I'm going to tell you probably 7, 8 new people in the last 2 weeks. Outside right, outside left, yeah, blah blah blah, and so keep sponsoring people yourself, because that's going to help build those Builder 500. It's so. But I didn't see that. I didn't see it, And so we did other things, really dumb. But anyway, so how did we do that? We just got with the people. We recruited the team to help. That's really it. We had people stepping up, doing things that really didn't, like you just said, didn't benefit very much, except they wanted to be part of something big.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm amazed and grateful that there are so many people out there that do that. I think we all do that to some degree. Well, I want to help. I want to help the cause. This is exciting, because you know what? Even though it's us, and I just don't like talking about it personally, but it sounds self-serving and all, but it's good when somebody does this.
Mm-hmm.
It boosts the whole thing. It helps. Everybody wins. We've got the new bronzes, new silvers, new Builder 500s up to kazoo on both sides of our binary. Things are cooking because everybody's engaged. And those that aren't are going, wow, maybe I should now.
Mm-hmm.
Because they should. We're not special here. Fred, you and I have one thing in common. It's not a college education. I went to school for 1 hour. Hello. So it's not about college education. It's not about the lack of it either. It's not about any of those things. It's about the desire to win, and then go on to do it, and don't let anything stop you, period. And how do you work with the team? Well, you just plan it out. See who wants to play. And you help them get their goals, and that's what you do.
A coalition of the willing. And Michael, I know your situation. The key things you want to pick up from what Reid just said: have enough people in to work with that you'll find the few that want to do it. Okay.
Yeah, there's only a few. A few.
We're not looking for the masses. Guess what? 20% of the population controls 80% of the wealth. Who do you want to work with? The 20%ers. Now, the beauty of network marketing is anybody can become a 20%er. Okay? As a truck driver, I was destined to be an 80% of the rest of my life, no matter how hard I work. Reid, and I'm not being mean, guess what? Before network marketing, Reid would never have been more than an 80%er.
Correct.
But in network marketing, you can choose to be in the top 20%. 80% of the United States population makes less than $60,000 a year, and they're raising families on that. 20% are the ones that make the big money, right?
Yeah.
Now, what's really cool is that simple things can take you from the top 20% to the top 20% of the top 20%. The top 5% of income earners, the 6-figure income earners in our country, the simple things that Reid's talked about, that we've talked about today: a daily method of operation, consistent activity over a prolonged period of time. And the beauty of network marketing is anybody can choose to be in that top, 4 or 5%. We're at the end of our allotted time. Michael, hope that was helpful to you. Reid, congratulations, buddy. I'm more excited about what you guys have done than when I hit triple diamond, because you guys really don't need to do this, okay? You truly personify what this industry is all about. And one last thing for Michael, how do you become triple diamond? Help 12 people get to gold. How do you help those 12 people get to gold? Help 24 people get to silver. How do you help 24 people get to silver? Help 40 people get to bronze.
Yeah, and Fred, one other thing. Do it even when you don't feel like doing it.
That's it. Hey, people go to work when they don't feel like it, right?
Yep, that's right.
All right. Hey, congratulations. Give my best to Yvonne. Folks,
you.
we're going to sign off right now. I'll let you go back to the other side there. And thanks so much for joining me right now, Reid. I appreciate you, buddy. Last couple things for you. This will be posted to the YouTube channel. So if you had somebody that you wanted to get in on today, if they weren't able to do it, it'll be up there here a little bit later on today. This upcoming week, we've got an incredible week, okay? Put together your daily method of operation. Commit to the celebrate or fix. Do those simple things. If you do that for a week, if you just do it for a week, it'll make a major difference in your business. If you do it for a month, it'll make a significant difference. If you do it for a year, you will not believe where you can be. This week, David Moses, Facebook Live, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Biz Talks with Pat on Wednesday. Health Talks with Pat on Wednesday. Biz Talks with me, Saturday morning training. You've got your schedule of events. Let's go out there and share the Zija message. Let's change a lot of people's lives. Thanks for joining us. Thank you again, Reid, and congratulations. Best to Yvonne. And we're out of here. Have a great weekend, guys. See ya.